From Kuala Lumpur to Kaduna, water cooperation across continents. That will be the topic for today's session. To moderate this session, we proudly present Professor Shahbaz, the Director of UNESCO Regional Science Bureau for Asia and the Pacific as the moderator. And we will also welcome our two special guest speakers, Dr. Yaya Omogbemi Omoloju, the Director of the Regional Center for Integrated River Basin Management, National Water Resources Institute, Kaduna, Nigeria, and Dr. Norlida Binti Mohd, UNESCO Head of Cooperation and Deputy Director of the Humid Tropics Center, Kuala Lumpur, Department of Irrigation and Drainage, Malaysia. Both are from UNESCO Category 2 centers. We are ready to take your questions through the Q&A space and comments at our Facebook page. Professor Shahbaz, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, dear Hazlan. It is a wonderful day. We have two UNESCO collaborators, wonderful people representing two UNESCO centers, I will say UNESCO Category 2 centers. These are the centers under the auspices of UNESCO. One of them is in Kuala Lumpur, from where Dr. Norlida comes. This particular center is what we call Humid Tropics Center, because Malaysia is located in tropics. The center has been doing a lot of interesting things, including eco-hydrology. Colleagues who visit Kuala Lumpur, we invite them to go and see this center. There are excellent examples of using the space in the center with many urban eco-hydrology concepts. But also center has been very, very proactive working with the universities in Malaysia, and we will hear today also with Africa and many other nations. And it has been at the forefront of integrated water resources management and especially integrated river basin management. Dr. Norlida has been working with this office in Jakarta and personally with me for more than 6 years. And we will see during this time, excellent work has come through about education for the integrated river basin management, and we will be exploring different aspects of that. So welcome, Dr. Norlida. Now let me also introduce another very, very important colleague, Dr. Yaya. And Dr. Yaya I know for almost 9 years for establishing this center, which is called Regional Center for Integrated River Basin Management. Very interesting center. And Dr. Yaya has a journey with it right from the beginning. And it came through the National Water Resources Institute, which is in Kaduna, a very interesting place. We will learn more about Nigeria. And Dr. Norlida has also visited Nigeria. And I have visited many times. I have seen excellent progress being made by this center. Very, very capable colleagues who are progressing water resources management for a big country like Nigeria. So it was very obvious under the Malaysia UNESCO cooperation program, this is where Hazlan is coordinating around 29 projects, that we should put a focus on water security, which is the Sustainable Development Goal number 6. But also, how do we progress integrated water resource management at the river basin level? So with that background, and today we are going to link Kaduna all the way to Kuala Lumpur. And in the process, there are so many learnings, we will be able to understand those learnings together. So without further ado, if I can ask first on Dr. Norlida, can you please explain to us the work which you are doing in your center, and especially about the river basin management, so the colleagues can know the range of activities you have been involved with?
Thank you, Prof. Shahbaz. Good afternoon. Well, on the IRBM, Integrated Basin River Management, is one of these branch of the IWRM. And through the UNESCO appointment to HTC or to Government of Malaysia, we have about 4 functions that we should deliver to the world. The function that we do have in Malaysia for the HTC centers as a UNESCO Category 2 centers to coordinate the implementation of the cooperative hydrology and water resources research projects, especially in the IRBM, as we're going to IFFM, ICZFM, and then IRBM, and those are the things that we're looking at in terms of applied research projects. And the other component that we do the collaborative studies is on this urban stormwater management. And we try to link between those activities with the eco-hydrology, whereby we are promoting more to natural concepts. And another one will be the enhancement and networking within UNESCO national committees. This is very important to exchange the scientific and technical information and research results for the IRBM too. So those things that what we have from our research projects, we disseminate through the organizing training courses, seminars and workshops where we publish and disseminate books in digital copies or the hard copies in order to transfer, to have the knowledge and technology transfers. And of course, last but not least, our key activities in this for the IRBM or in terms of IRWRM is to produce a related hydrological and water resource publication and media for distribution. So basically that is our function activities in the centers for Shahbaz.
Yes, very, very interesting. So you're linking with UN through UNESCO, bringing Department of Irrigation and Drainage, and you have many expert people, and you are under the Ministry of Water and Environment. Is that right, Dr. Norlida?
Yes, environment and water.
Yeah, so it is under the ministry umbrella, and you're working both in Malaysia and you're working in many other countries. So I will come back to you with further questions. Let's also get a bit of introduction from Dr. Yaya, who is representing another very similar and very interesting center, which is about river basin management located in Kaduna. So Dr. Yaya, give us a bit of introduction of your center and its role and how it fits within research, education and training within Nigeria and which other countries you have been linking and working with.
Thank you very much, Professor Shahbaz. Actually, the regional center was established in 2012 in agreement between the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the UNESCO. And since then, we have been able to take proactive actions to see that we impact our immediate environment. Don't forget that we have 15 countries in West Africa, which the regional center is established to cover. 5 are Anglophone, 8 are Francophone, and 2 are Portuguese speaking. And the regional center has never discriminated any one of them. We have ensured that we carry them all along in our activities. Then, by extension again, let me explain that we have 2 regional offices of UNESCO that have the 15 West African countries under their purview. We have the UNESCO regional office in Abuja, which has 8 countries of the West African, 8 of the West African countries under its purview. Then we equally have the regional office in Dakar, UNESCO regional office in Dakar, which has 7 countries of West Africa. So we are in very close link with them, but more actively with that in Abuja. And we have been co-opting together, collaborating together, and working together to see that we impact the sub-region. Now, what the first step we took in 2016 to 2017 was to see that all the 5 regional river basin organizations that are within the West African purview, including Central Africa.
That's very good introduction. Thank you very much, Dr. Yaya. So your center is a regional center, and the Human Tropics Center is another center, which is another regional center in the Asia Pacific, and you are in Africa. You have highlighted that in case of the center here in Kuala Lumpur, there is a very strong connection between the Regional Science Bureau in Jakarta, and you have a very strong connection with the Dakar in Abuja. So now let's take our conversation to the next level. Of course, water is everyone's business, but it's not same everywhere. So the different challenges in Asia Pacific may not be necessarily the same challenges in Africa. So Dr. Norlida, can you describe to us the very special project which you have been leading about developing curricula which can be used for the integrated water resources management, and which are the players who have been involved, first of all, to develop it, and then we will see how this curricula has helped us with our center in Nigeria, Kaduna, and I will ask this question to Dr. Yaya afterwards. So, Dr. Norlida, give us an idea about what has been developed by the center in the area of integrated water resource management.
Thank you, Prof. Shahbaz. Of course, back in 2015, when we received some fund from UNESCO by MFIT, we had a big responsibility to deliver those 3 books. And as what I mentioned just now, water management curricula, or in short is WMC that we always talk about. We developed, it was the first WMC that we developed by the Water Center. And I'm not sure whether it is within the Southeast Asia and Pacific. I think that is the first one. And luckily after that, through all those topics that we have in the 3 volumes, we disseminate through UNESCO Jakarta. And those experiences and the topics that we had inside, there are many topics that will be focusing on the IRBM, and in fact, it is also combining the eco-hydrology concepts and some of the examples that we had in Malaysia and the other rest of these water centers and other countries too. So it was about 2 years, but the production is a bit challenging for us because that was the first issue that we have, and we're happy and we are getting a cooperation from your office yourself, from UNESCO Jakarta, helping us in promising what we have to deliver. And finally, we managed to launch it in Penang last time. We had Prof. Shahbaz, and it was a great moment when we finally delivered those water management curricula. And subsequently after that, those 3 volumes was been as an examples of the what WMC for the Africa, and currently they are using our concept and ideas on their topics for the Africa chapter on eco-hydrology. So it is so wonderful, and we are happy to give those information to the rest of the water centers. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you. So these are the training material, curricula, which can be used in a university. Is this correct? The material
yes.
Which you have to...
Yes. So far, during the workshop that we had, Prof. Shahbaz, like in Indonesia, in Timor-Leste, they are adopting some of these chapters in these 3 volumes. And we are sincerely hoping that those universities from the South countries can use for them in terms of how they have and absorb these topics on eco-hydrology, IRBM, water quality. So forestry, we do have that topics, especially towards water security. So those universities, they use it. And currently, we also talking with the local universities in Malaysia that we try to solve the things in terms of eco-hydrology in the water management, on the water security. So we are developing a positive move forward for the eco-hydrology in Malaysia for the local university to adopt the eco-hydrology topics in one of their modules in civil engineering.
That's really very good. It's a cutting edge area in research.
Yeah.
At the same time, you have been able to bring this cutting edge research of eco-hydrology, urban water management, integrated river basin management to be ready for adoption by the universities. So this is very, very commendable, and we are very thankful and proud of your work. And those viewers who are watching us, these materials are available free of charge. And if you want to know more, please drop a line to our chat box in the Facebook Live or into the chat box in those people who are on Zoom. So let me now move to Dr. Yaya. Dr. Yaya, when I visited Kaduna a long time ago, as I used to work in Paris at that time, there was a desire that there should be such a center about integrated river basin management. And there was so much excitement, of course, very rightly. And I visited some of the areas around Kaduna. There is interesting water projects there. And universities also in Nigeria very much interested to work with your center. I saw many university colleagues who come to you. And we were promoting the integrated river basin management, IWRM. How you see these guidelines developed by HTC in Kuala Lumpur and the work which you are doing in Nigeria, how it linked together and how it is serving the countries which you are serving, a number of member states of UNESCO. How do you use the work which is described by Dr. Norlida? Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Yaya. Dr. Yaya is muted.
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Now we can hear.
Actually, we have the National Water Resources Institute, which is the host of the regional center, has under the World Bank project an establishment of 6 capacity universities, water resources capacity building universities, and they are located in the 6 political zones of Nigeria. And I remember when you were in the water sciences, we used the platform to develop the modular curricula for technical, vocational, and tertiary education in IRRM. And we have sustainably been able to use that, the outcome of the milestones of that project to further the teaching. What I mean is the capacity building in Africa using those curricula. Now the universities have remained in very good relationship with the regional center. We now to Malaysia, we discovered that each time I come or I attend workshop at your people's invitation, I try to see that I mirror the relationship, the perfect relationship which STC, KTL is having with university partners and knowledge centers to see how we too can further improve our own. And I tell you, as a result of that, we are trying to look at microplastics, for example, microplastics, because it's becoming a menace, not only in West Africa, but even in Africa. And we have seen, I can see that the universities are ready platform that we can use to collect immediate reconnaissance information that can serve as baseline data for us to be able to do a full-scale study. Because even government will be interested, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Urban Planning, and so on. So what I'm trying to say is we have been very close to these 6 university capacity building networks, and we're trying to even expand to see that we get more of the knowledge centers on stream to work with, so that we can impact our communities.
Wonderful. And I remember when I visited almost 9 years ago, there were also the technical board of Nigeria interested to partner with you. technical board also bringing technical and vocational education. That's a very strong point.
Exactly.
So you have universities and you have technical and vocational board working with you.
Yes.
So, and this concept of integrated river basin management. And
actually, we have a National Board for Technical Education, which collaborated with us in developing that modular curricula, and as well as the national event.
Okay. So, because of internet, maybe we have lost Dr. Yaya for a bit until he comes back. Let's continue, Dr. Yeah, here is Dr. Yaya. Okay. All right. So, Dr. Norlida, you visited Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
Can you give us your impression of Nigeria and water resources and the people's readiness, how they can work with you, and what did you learn from them?
All right, Prof. Shahbaz. I visited in, I think, 2016. January, yes. They are nice people, nice country too. It's a bit dry there. Maybe on this water security is a bit different than what we had in Malaysia. We have plenty of water here in Malaysia. But nevertheless, on the application of the urban stormwater management or urban water management in Africa can be adapted accordingly based on what we have currently in Malaysia. Because this urban stormwater management is supposed to design to fit. We can't simply plug and play from one guidelines, but it should be designed and fit. That is the best way how we are managing our water resources. So those are the things that I look at because it is a different climate. It's a little bit different. So that's that is my opinion, Prof. Shahbaz.
But that's also a learning for you, that how these guidelines can be, or the materials can be applied in a different context. So, and as you would have gone from Abuja all the way to Kaduna, there is very interesting landscape, very interesting agriculture and water practices. So let's now turn to Dr. Yaya. Dr. Yaya, you have visited very interesting places in Malaysia more than once. Of course, there is a UNESCO Global Geopark, which is Langkawi. You have been to Penang, which is a UNESCO World Heritage, and of course to Kuala Lumpur. So can you give us your impressions? This is one of those benefits of working together and linking with our natural and cultural environments. What did you learn from Malaysia, which you remember still, and this desire to link Asia, Africa? How does this work help us move forward together?
Yes, actually, my first visit was in 2015 in March under your auspices of your office, and thereafter it has been sustained. And I have visited Penang, Langkawi, Kuala Lumpur, Jakarta itself, and I discovered that they are excellent people, very committed to their work, and I learned a lot from commitment. You know, wanting to have results by all means, but within the limit of rules. Then number two, I discovered that you have the same rainfall pattern with our Niger Delta. You know, a lot of rain. Our Niger Delta area is up to about 4,000 mm. And one thing is with water is that you can have it, but management is very important, because it can be a friend, it can equally be an enemy. And I discovered that Malaysia, Indonesia, and those Asian countries have gone far in managing their water well within the limit of their knowledge and ability. And to the extent that what Norlida mentioned, urban storm water management is quite fine. I remember that one of the meetings we had in Kuala Lumpur, you took us to one place where there was a river, a stream, and we went into a place where they showed us, somebody gave us a video clip of how water is being managed drainage patterns and so on. And I discovered that we had a lot to learn from it. But all the meetings we have had, I always have a take home. And when I come, I equally see that what I've learned there, I replicate it here. And if we have the funds, I replicate it within West Africa. And we have been doing that, I assure you. That conclusively on that matter, for example, Jabi Lake, we have just gotten approval for Jabi Lake study as an eco-ecology research demonstration site. It is out of the encouragement I've seen from what we have in Malaysia and the workshop that we have come here to organize that prompted it. And I think within next year, we'll be inviting some experts from Asia to come and partner with us to see that we get that lake to international level.
That's wonderful. Can I say, Dr. Yaya, now you have in this area of water management, many other water friends in Asia, as you work through this Malaysia UNESCO cooperation program, you have friends which you can call upon, and the friends can call upon you to work together on these challenging, maybe different, but overall context is still the same, water security, both from supply, sanitation, and health. So can we say you have enough friends now in Asia?
Yes, well, I've made so many friends within this short time, since 2015 when I started coming there. And one of the great ones is Norlida, another one is Sutapa, that's Ignatius, who is the director of the APCE, and equally El Fitri, then Professor, we have a number of professors, and my only cry is that we have an MOU with APCE, that's Asian Pacific Center for Eco-Hydrology, and we are trying to leverage on that to see that the Jabi Lake, gets some attention from it, and we can work together. And I'm desiring, I'm hungry for an MOU with Redan and STC, because these are very relevant agencies that we need to partner with and tap knowledge from them so that we can move continent and our sub-region very forward. And I think I look forward to it. And
that's really very good explanation. You have now these personal level contacts and of the center to center contacts, of course, with Dr. Norlida and our center in which is basically the Center for Eco-Hydrology in Indonesia. So Professor Sutapa and you are working together now with Professor Azazi and Radek, and Dr. Al-Fitri as well. That's really
Dr.
Al-Fitri
has come to Nigeria last year, and I invited her to come, and she was
Dr. Al-Fitri and Professor Mazlin. So you have those links across. So that's very good to know. And already University of Science Malaysia, under the leadership of Professor Zazi, is very actively linking with the SCC and with DID, and there may be a UNESCO chair also. Now let me turn this question, because it's about South-South cooperation and linking together. Dr. Norlida, you have in the process also made many good connections, and you have learned many things. Let's explore a little bit more on the network of the universities in Malaysia. And if you can give us some example of which are those universities which are working with you, and how they are benefiting from these programs in building capacity in Malaysia to understand the global challenges and global issues.
Okay, Prof. Shahbaz, thank you for asking me that. On the cooperation between the centers and in short HTCKL, we are in Malaysia, we are coming as DID, Department of Irrigation and Drainage, whereby recently we already have about 5 MOUs with the universities, and those activities will be circulated within the water security. And if I can name some of them, they are USM, UNITEN, UTHM, recent one with MSU, Malaysia Science Universities. Those activities will be populated between the agencies in the new ministry, Environment and Water. We are focusing on the urban water management, some sort of article productions, applied research on these hydrology water resources. Of course, it is an applied research collaboration. And from what we are doing for HTC, of course, we are producing an output as the water management curricula. So those activities in the 11 Malaysia plan. And now we are focusing towards the end of this 11 Malaysia plan. And we already did some proposals. It's a win-win situation on the co-financing between the MFIT or UNESCO Jakarta and Government of Malaysia for financing some of the projects that we had discussed before, Prof. Shahbaz, during our workshops, like urban water management for the smart cities, disaster management, all those will be dealing with water security. So we already proposed one of the training concept on the urban stormwater management under MASMA concept. Last time we had a discussion with you and some of the colleagues from the Ethiopia. For Africa side, we are proposing for this training. Unfortunately, currently we have the pandemic. So we should move forward by ignoring whether we can meet face-to-face or it will be online. So we are proposing on this urban stormwater management training courses for Africa. So
wonderful.
If that's going to happen in future, we will contact African sites and of course through the UNESCO Jakarta. Let's hope for the best, Prof. Shahbaz. That is another
that's wonderful.
forward for us.
Thank you for giving those excellent examples. So 11 Malaysia plan, which is finishing, and also the 12th Malaysia plan, where shared prosperity is the key area for everyone. So that's very important as a country which is progressing very fast. The higher education system is benefiting from this effort. The standard of the universities is increasing and the standard is being lifted to the level which is at par with any other university system in the world. So that's very, very important. The universities which are linking with you, their master PhD programs are going up. So that's very good to know. And also, of course, now with the center in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, that's an eco-hydrology center. I've been also involved in setting up that center as well. So that is really wonderful that such collaboration is working through, and it should open new opportunities for funding through Malaysia UNESCO Cooperation Program and through other avenues of Asia, Africa working together. And the research which the students will be doing will be very useful for Malaysia and for the countries in Africa as well. Let me now ask Dr. Yaya a similar question, that now with many other African countries, they must also be looking for the leadership of Nigeria. Your center is a pioneer center. You have one of the best experts, as I know, and some of them I have worked with. And the universities you have are also amazing universities. How the benefits of your center, Dr. Yaya, are benefiting other African countries, and how it will continue to help with water security at a bigger level than Nigeria. So can you describe some of those initiatives and projects which you are doing with other countries?
Thank you very much. The regional center, like I said, has always seen itself as not only for Nigeria, but for the mainly the 15 West African countries. Now, the efforts we make is such a way that anytime we have a collaboration with the regional UNESCO multi-sectoral regional office in Abuja for a capacity building workshop or for any project, and they will always tell you that they have their 8 countries under their purview, and that for that reason they are limited to that in their funding. So, but we as a regional center on 2 or 3 occasions have always complemented such efforts with supporting the 7 countries under the UNESCO Dakar to see that we cover our 15 West African countries under the purview of the regional center. For example, the workshop on South-South cooperation in IRBM and eco-hydrology, which we had in January 2016, where you couldn't come, but Norlida and others and Piwatan were able to come and build a capacity. We ensure that all the 15 West African countries were around. And aside from that, the 5 regional river basin organizations within West Africa were equally invited under the sponsorship of the regional center. Then we had a mega water quality and emerging pollutants workshop in Accra in 2018, and we supported it very well. The regional center supported it very well, all in the spirit of seeing that not only the West African sub-region, but Africa is carried along, and they all align with the South-South cooperation agenda, which has triggered us to seeing ourselves as being, close brothers. Because I always say that Asia and Africa have very close relationship. Is it climate? Is it culture? Ways of, and so on. So we find ourselves to align together very easily. So the South-South cooperation, no doubt, has impacted us, and we want more. The latest curriculum that was developed on eco-hydrology by Jakarta, we are trying to see how we can mirror it to trickle it down to the lowest ebb within Africa. And that's why we need the collaboration of the bodies in Asia, to see that we work together. Now, finally, for the university partnership and knowledge centers, we are not relenting at all. We have always seen them as knowledge centers and a platform that you can use very readily to see that we execute our projects. And they always oblige us when we invite them or when we engage them.
Wonderful. These are really excellent examples, and I'm very pleased to know the role of the UNESCO offices in networking and linking with these centers like yours, and linking with other member states is becoming more and more clearer, and focus is much more sharper, and there is a real service for all those people who need water security. It's not only the scientists, engineers, the geologists, and professionals like us. It is really for the people who need the water security, and you are bringing it to all those corners. Let me now come to the last part of last question. Dr. Norlida, you have participated in many of our webinars. This is not business as usual, unfortunately, because Corona is affecting us. Yeah. And you are providing guidance. There would be another very important webinar with Pakistan, where we are going to work on the regional water, energy, food security. So, of course, business is not as usual. So, can you give us your views on what can be done better during and after the COVID? And where can Malaysia UNESCO cooperation program go into future to strengthen this South-South cooperation between Asia and Africa?
Okay, Prof. Shahbaz, let me suggest the 5 elements that we need to focus the way forward in order this South-South cooperation to be alive throughout the world. We may focus on the bridging the data and knowledge gaps by providing excellent and sustainable ecosystem. That's what we need to focus, because in the 4th industrial revolution, we are having the boundaries between the physical, digital, and biological world. So we're supposed to introduce a new element, blending or combining advanced the artificial intelligence, robotics, IoT, 3D, 4D, genetic engineering. So those are the things that we need to focus. Knowledge gaps should be one of the components. And of course, on the sciences, research and innovation are the two components that we need to focus, because we need to increase in adaptive and innovative capacities to translate knowledge and into resilient actions by 2040, 2050, and so on. That's how we need to be. And the fourth one will be, of course, inclusive water management under the condition of the global change, especially the water management that can reduce the risk of disasters such as droughts and floods. So last but not least is the most important element is on the water governance. That will be based on science for mitigation, adaptation, and resilience. So resilience is very important, such as the flood resilience and disaster risk reduction. And of course, the best thing that we should have is an investment for these flood resilience activities or disaster reduction activities. So those are the things that we need to be focused in future, Prof. Shahbaz, under these MUCP projects.
Thank you very much. You have clearly highlighted that because of COVID, we have come to grips with many new areas we need to focus, including resilience, understanding the data gaps, slow down of the SDGs need a lot more of the intersection between sciences, and you have brought the ideas from both the technological side, but also from the social and governance side. So the work is not over yet. We have to continue to work together under Malaysia UNESCO Cooperation Program, and it's beneficial both for Malaysia and for other countries. So let's I'll pose the same question to Dr. Yaya. Dr. Yaya, learning from your experience working together in Africa and with colleagues here in Asia Pacific, where you see this Malaysia UNESCO cooperation program can go, and given COVID situation in Africa and Asia, where should we put more focus for future work together?
Thank you very much. The MUCP has actually done a lot of work and generating some substantial interest from us in working together. And I see that the future holds very bright opportunities for us, and which the areas of focus we may need in Africa today with MUCP. Maybe in the number one, I will suggest, I will advocate that we should facilitate more a stronger relationship with more bodies within Asia. Like I said, signing MOU with them and trying to see how we can equally utilize available training programs. There's nothing bad in PhD, masters, yes, in some very critical areas of need, where such particular problem statements within the continent can be attended to through such study, and both continents can claim the milestones. Then number two, we equally feel that there are some water bodies within the continent which have been seriously compromised in the area of quality, in the area of quantity. And such study is what we are trying to initiate at the Jabi Lake, so that whatever successes we have there, it can be extended. Don't forget that every river, every major river has tributaries, no matter even small, from the community level. They contribute water to a larger river. From that larger river becomes a tributary to another bigger river, which ends up eventually in, for example, in Nigeria, in the ocean. So we are even trying to see that in the future, we should begin to take our study, our projects to the community level, where whatever they do impacts the river or even the stream that is a tributary to the river, and there's a tributary to the Atlantic Ocean. So we have started that by working with our the Ministry, the Federal Ministry of Water Resources in Nigeria, and we are by extension trying to see how we can domesticate RBM, mainstream RBM at the community level within the West African sub-region. So that's another future project which the MUCP can attend to. And a few minutes ago, Norlida talked about RBM, which is our direct area of focus. But we're taking RBM now, how we can take it to the community level, to the sub-catchment level, or to the catchment level, so that we can begin to raise awareness and advocate for a healthier stream, a healthier river at that level that will contribute to the larger rivers that equally impact all of us. So these are areas we need to look at. Eco-hydrology needs to be given thirdly, eco-hydrology needs to be given its right place within the continent, because eco-hydrology is a solution tool, to addressing water quality problems. And when we have more water, when we have larger quantity of water safely attended to, it means water security is equally ensured. So any effort that will be that is capable of improving.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yaya.
Water quality.
Okay. So, Dr. Yaya, thank you very much for all those excellent ideas. That's all the time we have, dear colleagues, today.
I'll attend to it, and eco-hydrology is one of the.
Yeah, thank you very much. So let me try to summarize very briefly that I'm very grateful for Dr. Norlida and Dr. Yaya, who have effectively linked today Kuala Lumpur to Kaduna. That is the desire of Malaysia UNESCO Cooperation Program, South-South Cooperation. These colleagues have discussed with us very important concepts. First of all, under the auspices of UNESCO, setting up these centers which go beyond their national boundaries. The center in Kuala Lumpur is serving Asia Pacific and also Africa. The center in Kaduna, Nigeria is serving many African nations and is also providing co-learning with the center in Asia. So this is a wonderful cooperation which is being promoted through what we call Malaysia UNESCO Cooperation Program. So the network of experts has been formed. The experts know each other and they are networking with the communities which can benefit from such work. So this is a very, very important part of our collaboration under the Malaysia UNESCO Cooperation Program. Then for Malaysia, with Dr. Norlida's excellent overview of this material which has been produced, the material what we call the integrated water resource management curricula for the universities has been developed in partnership with several universities in Malaysia. Those universities are using that curricula. It's also helping with the research and education. And now with the 12th Malaysia plan, there may be further work which can be done. It's helping the SDGs, certainly the Sustainable Development Goal number 6, but also it is helping with the international cooperation, the Sustainable Development Goal number 17. So this is very, very valuable work. And also considering the cooperation between Nigeria and Malaysia, we also have further cooperation in Africa, like it was highlighted by Dr. Norlida, that we have the center in Ethiopia. There may be several colleagues who can come and learn from the center in Kuala Lumpur on eco-hydrology. Putrajaya Lakes is a very interesting area.
Putrajaya.
Yeah, Putrajaya. And that's a wonderful area where we have learned so much about eco-hydrology. The Langat River, the work which we have done also with our UNESCO Global Geopark. So there are excellent examples which have come through. it's certainly clear the work is not over. We have many new challenges with COVID in terms of water security, in terms of the resilience of the communities, in terms of making sure we don't leave anyone behind. And we need to bring new interdisciplinary areas, as has been highlighted, like genetic engineering, for example, and also looking into microplastics, for example. So we have the persistent previous and the new challenges of inequalities in water access, in water sanitation, and very importantly, resilience against disaster. We have to continue to work together. And in this regard, Malaysia UNESCO Cooperation Program needs to take further steps working together with the Malaysian government and UNESCO and our expert networks. There is a lot which we can do together. Also, this work is helping many other nations in Asia Pacific, small islands and developing states, and also in Africa. There are further follow-ups in both regions, and the benefit is multiplying as we speak. So with that, I thank every one of you, and to Dr. Norlida and to Dr. Yaya for sparing their time, and colleagues who have asked questions. You will get customized answers from both experts. And we will also answer questions on the Facebook Live. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Over to you, Hazlan.
Thank you, Professor Shahbaz, and thank you to our guest speakers and to all participants who have joined this event. For the next session on Sustainable Insight by the Japanese Funding Trust, we will talk about nexus between nature-based solutions and ecosystem services. This Thursday, 13 August 2020 at 12 noon Jakarta time. For further information on this, please see the information on the chat room and on social media pages. If you wish to receive the certificate of today's webinar, please go to the link at the chat box and answer a few questions. We keep this form open 60 minutes from now on. We wish you a good day, stay safe, and see you all soon next Thursday. Thank you.